Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on something that pretty much makes our entire digital world go round, but you almost never see it. We're talking about the invisible science of software testing.
Come on, you know you have. We've all been there, right? That moment of just pure frustration when your banking app freezes or your game glitches out right as you're about to beat the final boss. It's a feeling we all know way too well.
Well, working behind the scenes, there's an entire field of expertise dedicated to stopping that from happening. It's all about hunting for those problems before they ever get a chance to ruin your day.
Okay, so let's get into it. What is this bug hunt, really? What are we actually talking about when we say software testing?
So the official definition talks about two big ideas: verification and validation. You know, it sounds a little technical, but really it boils down to two simple questions. Verification is asking, hey, did we build this thing right? But validation asks a much deeper question. Did we even build the right thing to begin with? Let's just break that down, though. The real goal here is to find the breaking points before you do. Think of testers as a team of digital detectives, systematically poking and prodding the software, trying to find every flaw before it's released into the wild. Now, you've probably heard a bunch of different terms for this, right? Like QA or QC, and they're not all the same thing. Testing is actually just one piece of a much bigger quality puzzle. So let's clear up who does what. And here's the key difference. Quality assurance, or QA, is all about the process. It's about prevention, making sure the team is following the right steps to avoid bugs in the first place. But quality control and testing, they're all about the product itself. Their job is detection, finding the bugs that slipped through. So really, it's a battle between prevention and detection. This is a perfect way to see how it all works together. Let's take the Instagram login. QA is making sure the developers followed all the company's coding standards while they were building it. QC is like a final inspection, checking that the finished feature meets all the quality requirements. And testing? Well, that's the fun part. That's someone actually hammering away, typing in usernames and passwords to see if it works, or if it breaks in an interesting way. You know, this whole field didn't just pop up out of nowhere. It's evolved like crazy over the years, and what it covers today is just massive. Let's take a quick look at how we got here. If you look back to the 70s, testing was basically an afterthought. It was just debugging after everything was supposedly done. But as you can see, that changed. It went from just finding errors to validating requirements, and now, in our modern Agile and DevOps world, it's this continuous, automated thing that's baked into the development process from the very first day. And the scope of what gets tested is huge. You've got functional testing, which asks the simple question, does it do what it's supposed to do? But then you have non-functional testing, which asks the really tough questions like, is it fast enough? Is it secure? Can a million people use it at once? And to do all that, you have real humans doing manual testing alongside powerful scripts and tools running thousands of automation tests in the background. All right, now we're getting to the heart of it. These are the 7 fundamental principles, the golden rules that every single professional software tester lives and breathes by. This is the core wisdom of the craft. And this first one is a big one. You can run 1,000 tests and find 100 bugs. That absolutely proves that bugs are present. But what if you run 1,000,000 tests and find 0 bugs? That doesn't prove the software is perfect. It just means you haven't found any bugs yet. Okay, think about this. Just try to imagine testing every single possible username and password combination for a website. You can't. It's literally impossible. We're talking infinite variations. So you can't test everything. It's just not going to happen. Instead, testers have to be smart. They have to use their expertise to focus on the most critical, the most high-risk parts of the software. This one is just simple economics. If you find and fix a bug when an idea is still just a sketch on a whiteboard, it might cost a few dollars. But finding that exact same bug after the product is already launched and in the hands of millions of people, whoa, that could cost a fortune in fixes, lost customers, and a trashed reputation. This is basically the 80-20 rule, but for software bugs. It's a weird but true phenomenon. About 80% of all the problems are usually found hiding in just 20% of the code. A good tester develops a sixth sense for finding these buggy hotspots and focuses their energy there. I love this one. It's called the pesticide paradox.
Think about it. If a farmer keeps spraying the exact same pesticide over and over, what happens? The bugs eventually become immune. Well, the same is true for software tests. If you run the same tests again and again, they'll stop finding new bugs. You have to keep updating and changing your tests to keep them effective. This feels like common sense, but it's so important. You wouldn't test a banking app the same way you test a video game, right? The risks are completely different. The priorities are different. The way you test has to change depending on the context of what you're building. And finally, this might be the most important rule of them all. You can build a piece of software that is 100% technically bug-free, but if it's confusing to use or if it doesn't actually solve the problem your users have, it's completely worthless. Quality isn't just about a lack of bugs. It's about delivering real value. So when you put all of these rules together, you start to see that testing isn't really a negative thing. It's not about finding fault. It's actually a really constructive process that's all about building confidence. And that's really why all this matters. The whole point is to find those show-stopping bugs before your customers do. It's about being confident in the quality of what you're shipping. And when you do that, you save money, you save time, and most importantly, you build trust with the people who rely on your software every single day. So the next time you use an app and it just works flawlessly, the next time you log in or make a purchase without a single hiccup, just take a second. That smooth experience, it's not an accident. It's the direct result of that invisible science of a hidden army of people who hunted down the chaos so you